Hi everybody, it's Mrs Marvel here. I hope everybody's enjoying the sunshine. It's so lovely out there. Anyway, I posted a video about tadpoles the other week and I'm going to explain to you today how a tadpole turns into a frog with this book. And the author of this book is Sally Morgan. So we're going to have a look inside and see how a tadpole grows. Let's have a look. Are we ready? Let's turn the pages. And it says on the first page here, look, it says, what is a frog? A frog is a small animal with 4 legs. It has strong back legs that are great for jumping and swimming. Frogs have a slightly wet skin, which dries out easily. They live in wet places on land. Can anybody think about where a frog lives? At school, where do the frogs live? Do we know? Once a year, frogs find a pond where they can breed. The female frog, the lady frog, lays eggs which hatch into tadpoles, and the tadpoles change their body shape to become a frog. This is called metamorphosis. Can we see it up there? Right, let's turn the next page. Laying eggs. In spring, frogs come out of their winter hiding places. They make way to a pond. Lots of frogs gather in the pond. The male frogs are very noisy, especially at night. A male frog puffs out a pouch on each side of its throat to make its croaks louder. Do you think you could croak like a frog? Have a go. After 10 days, the tadpole wiggles out of the jelly. The tadpole stays close to the jelly or clings to the pondweed. It does not need to eat for several days. These tadpoles have just hatched. They don't look like frogs at all. Has anybody seen any tadpoles while they've been out walking at all? There's some in the field near Mrs Marvel's house in a pond, so I've seen some as well. The young tadpole has feathery gills on each side of its head. It uses the gills to breathe underwater. The tadpole is a herbivore, which means it only eats plants. It feeds on all the algae in the water. Oh, do you know what algae is? It's all the slushy green bits in the pond. And that's the tadpole's favourite food. The tadpole stays in the shallow water, which is warmer than the rest of the pond. Now the tadpole begins to change into a frog. The tadpole is 4 weeks old now. It breathes with new gills that have grown its side of its body. It's very clever how it changes so quickly. Let's have a look, and it says here, 2 legs. When the tadpole is about 8 weeks old, it starts to grow legs. 2 tiny bumps appear at the back of its body, and the bumps grow into legs. The back legs appear at the back of the body on either side of the tail. The legs are small at first, but they soon become longer and thicker. Each leg gets a webbed foot. The tadpole eats plants such as duckweed. It also begins to eat tiny animals in the water. The back legs make them grow larger and they become more powerful. Ooh, so let's see what happens next. Are you ready? Now it's got 4 legs. The tadpole grows front legs in a few weeks after the back legs. Its body changes shape. Its tail becomes shorter until there is only a short stump. This tadpole swims to the surface of the water to take its first gulp of air. There are also changes inside the tadpole's body. The tadpole grows lungs. Now it has to swim to the surface of the water to breathe the air. the tadpole changes into a meat eater, which is called a carnivore. It eats small pond animals and flies. And it's beginning to look more like a frog now, isn't it? And this bit says, leaving the pond. By early summer, the tadpole has become a tiny frog. It is about the size of a fingernail. The frog spends more time eating at the edge of the pond. It hides under the stones and lily leaves, and finally the frog climbs out of water and starts its life on land. This is very dangerous for the little frogs, as most frogs are eaten by birds or other animals. And herons, do you remember Mrs. Marvel telling you about the heron by Mrs. Marvel's pond? Herons love to eat frogs. And I saw the heron eat a frog out of my garden the other day. That's not very nice, but that's how they survive.